What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and this is Chaos Central's The Rule of Three with the usual suspects, Danny and Nzo. Guys, good to have you here. I know Anzo's getting ready and stuff like that. So,
what up?
Oh, there he is. There you go. Good. So let's go ahead and go around and tell everybody about yourselves. Start with you, Nzo. Go ahead and tell everybody about where you can be found and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. You guys know where you can find me. Biggaford Entertainment. You can catch me on the shows with my two partners over here, Chris and Danny. Chaos List, Rule of Three, Chaotic Conversation. We also got Storms Live. We got Equilibrium. We got Square One. So we got a lot of shows for you guys to check out. So hopefully you guys check it out. Subscribe to the channels and just try to enjoy all the content that we put up for you guys, man. It's much appreciated.
All right. Okay, up next is Danny. Danny, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself.
I am Danny, a.k.a. Comet Chat, part of the Chaos crew. Like Nzo said, pretty much we on several shows together throughout the week, about 5 or 6. I know it's a lot to content to absorb, but please check out some of it. Always check the replay. Also, please subscribe. It only takes 1 second to subscribe. Share the links. Let people know what we're doing, that we out here, that we need their subscriptions, because we all got goals. My goal is 1,300, my next milestone. I think Nzo's trying to get to 1,000. Chris is trying to get to 4,500. So we are all grinding. So we can only do that and get our goals with your help. So, excuse me, please do so.
Indeed. Yeah, and I'm Chris Knight. The Real Review 3000, where you might be watching this right now, is one of the channels I work with, Chaos Central, of course, Biggaford Entertainment, Comic Chat, sometimes on the Mary Mayhem's channel, JJ, or Sith Lord, his channel, HanStar. I'm a stream whore. That's kind of how I tell everybody. From what I know, my rates are still above $3. I don't know. You have to ask the pimp Nzo over here if I'm making that much now or not.
I give it $2 off of 10.
Oh, so I'm up to 8 now? Wow.
No. I give you $2 off of 10.
Oh.
I get the 8. You get the 2.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I didn't realize my price was that high anymore. I mean, wow. I feel very well loved now. Yeah, guys. So if you want to go over to, let me do this real quick. I forgot to do this. If you want to go over right here at chrisknight5150 on Twitter, I have a post up. Please retweet it out for us. Also, go to, I'm going to do this, youtube.chaoscentral.com. If you go there, that's a direct link to our Chaos Central YouTube. You'll have to copy and paste it because YouTube and everybody else in the world doesn't like letting you use links, I guess. I don't know. But since we don't have our vanity link yet, we need you guys to go to Chaos Central's YouTube channel and subscribe if you are not already subscribed. With that said, guys, let's get into this. The wheel of topics is here. There it is. And we're going to spin and see what we get first. All right. I think I got all the old ones off. So if I didn't, let me know. Black Widow, The Eternals, and Shang-Chi have all been delayed once again. Do you think they should just take the chance and release them? Okay. And who would like to start this one?
I'll go first.
You will go first. You know how this works. 3 minutes is on the board, and your time starts.
I forgot. I don't know how this works. What
I know that 1 week off really changes everything.
I thought I had a mulligan. Didn't I get a mulligan or something?
Sure, you can have a mulligan. You can only take it up to 10 minutes, though. 3 minutes on the board. Your time starts now, Nzo.
No problem. All right. So the question is, should they take a chance? And absolutely not. Okay. One is Marvel is like, these movies are potentially billion-dollar movies, and with the way the current crisis is going, there is no way they're going to reach that level. I mean, you could say they could put them on streaming, but Mulan didn't really do so good on streaming either, not as well as they hoped. So that was the test for the streaming. For the theaters, it was Tenet. Tenet did a little bit better. I think it's at like 300 million now, the last time I checked. But at the same time, Tenet was a movie that was supposed to be maybe $600, $700, $800 million. I don't know what the budget was on the movie, but I can guarantee you they did not make back what they spent on the movie. So for me personally, I don't think they should take the chance. I think they need to do what they're doing, which is wait for these movies to come out. I mean, they already delayed Black Widow. They already delayed Black Widow's coming out on Christmas, but I don't think it's going to end up coming out on Christmas anymore. I think they're going to push that back as well, right? Wonder Woman, push back. Bond, push back. There was something else that Dune, push back, right? So all these movies are being pushed back. So you might as well just wait until the theaters are open and can go to 100% capacity before you bring these movies out. Because was that?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard someone say something. Okay. Yeah, so you got to wait to bring these movies out because they're not going to make the amount of money that they made for them. And Eternals, Shang-Chi, that's it. And the other one, Thor, Love and Thunder, whatever they are. These movies are not going to make as much as they're supposed to do if you bring them out now. So to take the chance would be very risky. I think they could probably make more than Tenet did because they're Marvel movies, but they will not make as much as they were supposed to make during this pandemic. I mean, some theaters are even closing down again. Regal, I heard you guys had, was closing down again. They closed down our theaters here, right? So it doesn't make no sense. So you just hold it off. The companies are losing money and they're desperate, but at the same time, you don't want to put out a movie where you're not going to make at least a profit on it when you know this movie would definitely make you a profit just because it has the Marvel name on it. Like to be honest with you, I don't think any Marvel movie has actually flopped. You know what I mean? I think they've all made a decent amount of money, right? So at this point, I just say just ride it out, maybe another year. It sucks to say it, but at this point, I mean, if it's about the bottom line, then the bottom line says you wait.
All right. Good points there. First off, before we get to you, Danny, we got a $5 super chat from JJ, aka Sith Lord 3827. $5. You're really cheap. Laugh my ass off. Yes, I am. Actually, $10. I mean, $10. That's per hour, right?
Yeah, it's per hour.
What's funny is when I first started doing this endeavor myself, I only charged $3. So when Nzo came on board, the fact that I've gone up to $10, I mean, that my stock's raised. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, Nzo, I really want to thank you for helping my stock rise so much. Thank you so very much.
This is what I do. I'm a businessman, and I just watched Hustle and Flow before I got on the stream today. So I really know how to do my job. I really know how to pimp you out, bro.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Danny, 3 minutes is on the board.
I did not hear the question.
Okay, the question. Let me get it up here again, and I forgot to put it in the thing. Black Widow, The Eternals, and Shang-Chi have all been delayed once again. Do you think they should just take the chance and release them? 3 minutes is on the board, and your time starts now.
The fan in me says, hell yeah, they should release them because I want to see something new. I want to see what is going on in the mind of Kevin Feige. But realistically, I know if they do it, they're probably going to lose money. We always say that just having Marvel name on there is going to guarantee this movie $500 million. I don't think this is the case. Maybe that would cut down maybe to half, 200,000 maybe, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be profitable. Oswald just said that Tenet is make about 350. But I just looked it up. It cost 205 to make it, so they had to even triple their amount to make it, their budget. So right now it's definitely in the hole. Shang-Chi, out of all three of them, may have a better chance because I do believe that the market is open over in China, so they're strong enough to make Shang-Chi profitable if the Chinese get behind it. I don't know if the Chinese would get behind a female-driven movie like Black Widow. I just don't know. They're kind of fickle. Not sure. It's too much unsurety about the Eternals. If it was something that was proven for as already made money, then maybe China could take a lot of the weight that America and other parts of the world normally carry. I don't know. So if I had to guess or bet, I think that would be that Shang-Chi would probably be profitable if it because it goes to China, and I think they would get behind that. And I'm not saying they make $1 billion, but I'm thinking it'll make somewhere between the 650, 850 range. So that's not a flop in Marvel's eyes. So, but yeah, like I said, the fan of me definitely wants to see it. The fan of me would love to see it on HBO Max, correction, Disney Plus. But I know realistically that they're not going to spend all that money, and just to go out on a limb, they might get their money back. Maybe if they were able to find that sweet spot where they could make a quality movie with a low budget, I would say, yeah. If they can make a movie, a Marvel movie, let's say for between 80 million and 100 million, I think they could be profitable. But normally the Marvel movies are in excess of 250, sometimes more than that. I forget what Endgame was. It was something crazy. A movie like Endgame that's going to be 3 hours long, there's nowhere in the world they could be profitable. So, unfortunately, like Anzo said, probably another year before we can see it. We got to see how this crisis goes. If it's starting to decrease, then I think next year. If not, then you got to hold it and bump it down.
All right. So let me see here. 3 minutes on the board for me. No, they shouldn't release it. I mean, I don't know. I'm figuring here that, like Anzo said, you're not going to make your money back. I mean, Tenet showed that. I think they probably should have waited on Tenet. I think Tenet was a good movie. I think it could have had its blockbuster moment. But right now, blockbusters just aren't going to happen. You can't pack the theaters. I mean, your blockbusters are going to get at least 2 to 3, maybe 4 or 5 days of packed theaters. And we're talking like anywhere from 3 to 6 screens in each theater sometimes. That's where the money is. If that's what they want, if they want that money, if they're going to make their money back to make it a profitable movie, then you can't release it. This isn't about, I guess this comes down to more of the point, do we want them to back off on their budgets? Because that's what they're going to have to do if they keep releasing to the studio or to the movie theaters without the crowds being there. Because you're, $200-300 million movies that need to make that, or $80 million movies that need to make double that at least, can't do that right now. And if the movie companies, even with the fluffy money disease out there, even though they know that's the reason why they're not making the money, they still can't justify making another movie of that size until they get the money back. So they have to push these back. This is a fiscal decision. This is not even about do they want to or can they. It is they can't, because they just don't have the money that will come in that they need to make this worth putting it out there. So I don't even think it's a question. I just don't think you do it, period. It sucks for us. We got to go and watch The Empire Strikes Back, which is a great movie. I love watching it in the theater, but that's what we get. We get that. We get, Goonies, you get all these different movies that are great movies, but we already know this. I mean, you really have to want to go to the theater and spend the money, which I know they're all lower prices because they're old movies. But if I got it on DVD at home, you really got to think about that. You got do I want to go to the movie? I still think this is a mid next year before we really see any chance of getting a decent crowd in there. And that's all dependent on a vaccine. That's all dependent on numbers going down, because even up in Canada, Anzo, you guys are starting to get little flare-ups here and there. And that's happening in Great Britain. That's happening in other countries. At Italy, it's happened now. So we got to figure out why is it doing that. These places where it's gone down, why is it now starting to kind of creep back up? You got to be careful. And it's also a safety thing. But Hey, memes, what's going on? LDG, how you doing? David, Mike Shrews is here. I saw JJ was here. I know Deshaun was here. Guys, thank you everybody who's here. I really appreciate it. 3 minutes on the board. Let's continue talking about this.
And you're absolutely right, because here we had spikes, right? And our numbers are not even close to you guys, but
no,
on one Saturday or one weekend, we had like 900 new cases. It's scaring our government. So it's like, okay, you know what? We got to shut things down. The only thing I have an issue with is they shut everything down, but they still have the schools open, which is an issue because that's when the boost happened, is when they open the schools, right? Once they open the schools, you got a big boost. So it's fucked up, but at the same time, like, I want to see these movies. I really do. You know what I mean? But one of the experiences I like about going to the movie theater is that you're seeing it with a bunch of people. You get to see a crowd reaction. You know what I mean? So you can basically, I go to movies on the first night. So I can definitely tell on the first night, it's like, okay, this movie is going to make money or not. You know what I mean? So
there's one slim hope how I think this can make money. And I'm going to use a movie example. Y'all remember seeing Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah.
Vampire Hunter.
Yeah.
There was a part in that movie where the vampires was growing at an exponential number, and he figured out that they gotta use silver. So they had all the silver in the capital or whatever, and they had it melted down to weapons.
Down the bullets.
Yeah, the bullets and weapons. And that was able to take them out. The only way I think that they can make a profit is that they spend probably about, I don't know what, I'm gonna say $100 million in just advertising. And they gotta advertise hard for the theaters that are open. You gotta advertise hard and find that sweet point on Disney Plus. And the third thing they gotta do is I would make some kind of coalition of the drive-ins and pump those movies out to the drive-ins. If they do all three of those consecutively together or currently together, so to speak, that's a legal term, then I think that they could be profitable.
You know,
but
we talked about
they have to put the money in advertising so the people, whenever there's a candidate now, every time I get in my truck, turn my radio, turn my TV, I see his face. I see his face. That's how Disney Plus, or that's how Disney has to be when they're pumping out that movie.
I think, I mean, we've been doing this show. I know, Danny, you and I have been doing these shows since I think right before this happened, right before the shutdown. And as soon as the shutdown happened, we started talking about this. And what did we say? I think both you and I said the same thing right at the get-go. Get your money into drive-ins. You had all summer to do that. They could have saved themselves a lot of money if they just invested in drive-ins, just as long as it took to get things out there. And I'm not saying that was the complete answer, but that was an answer, and they didn't do it. So, now they're kind of stuck with what they have to do. It's just wait now. They have to wait.
I kind of agree and disagree with the drive-in part because not everybody drives. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true. I mean, but that's kind of
and not only that, drive-ins are rare. We only have, I just found out we have one here in Montreal, right? So you got to think they got to build new drive-ins, which is spending more money, which they don't have.
Well, and I can answer that for you right there. Okay, how many Kmart's are out of business now? How many empty parking lots? Do you know that they sell, and I know this because I work in entertainment. I've done this before, even like 15, 20 years ago, we were doing this. They make blow-up screens, inflatable air movie screens. Buy 6 of those, put them in a Kmart parking lot, and pay for the money it costs to block it off so you have controlled access to it, and boom, you're done. I mean,
but then you got to think about concessions, what they were supposed to have.
Yeah,
there. You know what I mean? It's too much of a hassle to do that, and I was such a short notice. It would be impossible to get that done.
I wouldn't even worry about concessions. I would tell them, bring your own food.
And that's kind of where I would go too. I mean, especially with everything going on.
Charge to see the movie.
Yeah. All right, guys. John Cena's Peacemaker will be getting a spinoff after the Suicide Squad. Do you want to see the spinoff? So those of you who may not have seen it during DC Fandom,
I've seen it.
Yeah, I know. I watched your video. when you were watching the whole thing. I didn't watch it like all the way through, but I did watch it. So the Suicide Squad is basically a sequel to the original one, but John Cena plays a character called Peacemaker in this, and he'd already basically when he got signed for this, he got signed for a spinoff. So that's what our question is: do you want to see the spinoff? So, who would like to start first? Danny? Nzo?
Sure.
Okay, Danny.
I'll start.
3 minutes is on the board, and your time starts now.
Not particularly. I don't want to care about. I mean, if it comes out and I get good feedback from people that I trust, or I don't know anything. First of all, it's going to be strike one for me because I'm not familiar with the character at all. So that's going to be strike one. Strike two depends on the current of the word of mouth. If the current is strong and people are saying good things, then I'm probably going to lean towards going to see it. If the current or the traffic saying is meh, I probably won't see it. And third of all is going to see the trailer. I'm going to have to see the trailer and see whether or not the trailer catches my attention. If it catches my attention, then I may override word of mouth and familiarity and go check it out. If it doesn't catch the trailer doesn't catch my attention, I'm going to be like, nah, I'll wait till that comes somewhere else. Being the fact that the channels that we do and the content we make, we kind of have to go see things. So I was speaking as just a casual fan that doesn't have a YouTube channel. I probably wouldn't go see it. But speaking as someone that does this and has to review a lot of these movies and talk about it intelligently with other YouTubers, then I'm probably going to end up going to see it. I just hope it doesn't suck. But I'm not excited particularly about John Cena in any capacity other than wrestling. But we will see how he does in the new Fast and Furious. That'll be like his test run for me. I know he did something called The Marine. I saw that and it was crap. So I will have to see what he does in Suicide Squad. If he kind of steal the scenes and steal the show on Suicide Squad, then speaking as just a casual moviegoer, I'll probably go see it. I would go see it in that capacity. But if he kind of stinks it up, I still, even though I do a YouTube channel, I may not go to see it. Because if something is just, I know it's awful, and I'm hearing if Nzo go or you go, say, then I'm not spending my money. I'll YouTube it and watch bits and pieces of it and be like, okay. But am I excited about John Cena? Do I want to see this Peacemaker at this particular time? No. It's not moving my needle one way or the other. It's definitely not moving towards going to particular time. No. At this particular time, no.
The hell?
It's not moving my needle one way or the other. It's definitely not moving.
What the hell?
What is?
You hear the echo, right? Coming back around?
Yeah, I did.
Yep, like it looped around or something.
Yeah.
No. John Cena gets the thumbs down at this particular time.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Echo, yes, that's right. Hey, Trap, how you doing? Shifty Gizms in the chat too. Guys, thank you very much. Everybody who's here, go to my Twitter at chrisknight5150. Please retweet the tweet that's for this. It should be the pinned tweet. If it's not, I'll make sure it is really quick. All right. Nzo, if I can get over to wherever there it is. Where? There it is. Oh, man. All right. 3 minutes on the board. Nzo, your time starts now.
Well, we all know Danny is just a hater. But, I mean, personally, I'm not really one to say, like, yeah, I want to see this movie, you know. It's a DC property, so I'm going to see it anyways, right, regardless. I don't think it's coming out in theaters. I actually think it's going to be a series on Disney Plus, I heard, which is fine. I'll watch it on Disney Plus. I already paid for it anyways, right?
Or HBO Max.
Oh, is it HBO Max?
It can't be on Disney Plus because it's not a Marvel property.
Oh, yeah, right. Son of a bitch. Okay, yeah, so HBO Max. But either way, I'll find a way to watch it. I got my Android box. I'll just bootleg that motherfucker if I have to.
The Real Review 3000 and Chaos Central do not condone the use of bootlegging, but we don't condone it, or we don't talk bad about people who do it either. So,
hey man, I don't condone it either. You know what I'm saying? I
understand though. Hey, listen, HBO Max, get your asses in gear and go up to Canada already. Come on.
Facts. Right. So, so personally, I'm like Danny. I have no idea about Peacemaker. Like, I didn't even know much about many of the members of the Suicide Squad, anyways. Right. So John Cena kind of was okay in Bumblebee. So I find out his acting is getting a little bit better. He even did this little comedy one, which I didn't watch, but I've seen some clips on it, and it seemed like he did a pretty good job. So that Marine one Danny was talking about was absolutely horrible. It was trash, but I believe that was in his early days when WWE was making the movies and stuff like that. And there was only one that was really good, and well, yeah, kind of good, which was the one with Kane. Can't remember what it's called. I think it was See No Evil or Hear No Evil or something like that. And that one, yeah, that one was good.
Steve Austin's was good.
Which one?
When he was on that island and he had to fight with everybody.
Okay, not sure I've seen that one, but the rest of them that I've seen I didn't like. But again, John Cena's acting has been getting better. And if the director actually had seen something with Cena while he was directing the Suicide Squad and was like, you know what, Cena looks like he could pull off his own series, I'll give it a chance. You know what I mean? I gave everything a chance. Shit, I gave Batwoman a chance. I gave it one episode, so I'll give it a 1 episode, 2 episodes. If it's decent, and John Cena is like maybe the only thing that I don't really like in it, I'll still watch it because I want to know it's a DC property, Marvel property, Star Wars property. I'll watch it all. But at the same time, I'm not excited for it. If it comes, it comes. I'll watch it. You know what I mean? And I hope I get impressed by it. I really do.
Okay. Good.
It's called a Condemned, so you to watch it.
I seen it. The Condemned. I don't remember it, but I seen it.
All righty. 3 minutes on the board for me. If it's a Disney Plus series, maybe, because I could see that in an episodic format. And I guess that's an easy way for him to kind of try to expand his acting a little in small doses to people. And you're going to get a much wider audience who likes John Cena for John Cena going to a streaming service than you would movies. I don't know. Right now, I know the big thing that I noticed, I know a lot of other people noticed, I think Terrence may have mentioned this once before, is that the Peacemaker they're showing us in the quick snippets that they gave us during the DC fandom is not really Peacemaker. So I guess it really just depends on what the character's like when we see the movie. If he's closer to how Peacemaker is in the comic books, I could see it going pretty well. If it's some new just iteration of what they're calling Peacemaker, I'm not sure if that's really going to fly that well. So I'm kind of like Danny in this. I want to see Fast 9 to see how he acts in that. I guess he's kind of taken. He's supposed to be Vin Diesel's brother in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Dom's brother. So I mean, let's write the script for FF9 right now. Dom's brother, who's played by John Cena, is hired by the chick to go after him, and something she does against John Cena's character will make him turn and go good and become a part of Dom's. I mean, we can write the script really easy, but it's how he presents himself in it. The perfect example is The Rock. The Rock, when I first heard he was coming into this series, I was like, what the hell is he going to add? And it was kind of like, okay, it was a little rough to start, but as time went on, I was like, okay, I like this character, and they introduced him in a good way. I'm not saying Fast and Furious are great and deep movies. They're not. They're fun to watch, though, and it worked, and they did a really good job. If they could do that with John Cena, and John Cena comes across with a great personality on camera, and then he follows it up with the Suicide Squad and does the same thing, I think you can put it on a streaming service and you can get a good reaction to it and give it a chance. That's kind of so I think it is a wait and see thing. If I like what I see on the Suicide Squad, then I'll probably take a look at it. Like you guys, I gave Batwoman a chance. Off point topic really quick though. Are you guys going to rewatch it? Are you going to start give it one more episode to see how it is with this new lady?
Yes, absolutely.
I plan on it too. So, all right, cool. All right, 3 minutes on the board. We can continue talking about this. So John Cena hasn't really gone through the major steps that The Rock has yet. Mm-hmm. That's where he's trying to get to right now. Mm-hmm. So,
like Batista had to do it as well in the beginning, right? Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I saw Batista in Blade Runner 2024 or 40, 20, whatever. I can't remember the year.
2049, some shit.
Yeah, 2049. Thank you. I saw him on that. Well, besides the fact I geeked out on the fact that was the original opening of the original Blade Runner that they made for this movie. I loved the way he handled it. He was very. He didn't have a lot of speaking line in that. And then they released a couple quick, not movies, just quick promo videos, like giving characters set up for the movie. And they made one with him. And if you go online and watch it, he did a really good job of it. So yeah, it takes time for these wrestlers to get into what we consider Hollywood acting, but they are actors to start with. I mean, if you believe everything you see in WWE broadcasts, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's scripted.
Absolutely.
But as bad as it is sometimes, it's still acting, and they're acting within what the world is, so it works. It takes a while to get out of that thought process and move to Hollywood thought process.
You could tell Rock was going to be big when he
for sure.
He was so good on the mic. Like you could tell he was going to be a good actor. You know what I mean? When it comes to the Fast and Furious, I kind of liked him better in the beginning when he was going against Dom. You know what I mean?
I would have been fine with that.
I liked that dynamic, and then they ended up making him good, and I was like, okay, whatever, I get it. He's still good in the movie, but I like the fact that him and Dom were going head to head, and I think that's what it could have used for maybe a few movies, where it's just like Rock is as good as Dom is as a cop as he is as a bad guy. You know what I mean? And they're trying to one up each other and shit like that. I think they made them join up a little bit too quick, but that's just me.
And Danny, anything else on this?
I don't know. Just got to wait and see. John Cena does not impress me as far as his acting, but he may surprise me. So I'm not going to say it's going to suck. I just want to hold my opinion till a later time, until after I see at least the trailer, and I'll make a more informed opinion about what I think it will or will not be.
You didn't see Bumblebee, Danny?
I did.
What did you think of
that? It was only like 3 or 4 minutes.
No, he was in it for more than that.
Was he?
Yeah, but he was in the whole movie.
More than about 3 or 4 minutes.
He's in the whole movie.
John Cena?
In Bumblebee, yes, he chases them down. He fights at the end with them. He helps them get away from Bumblebee. You know what I mean? He has the little meeting in the room where they're talking to the two Decepticons, and he's like, their names are Decepticons. That doesn't say anything to you guys?
Like I said, that right there tells you how much attention I paid. I can remember him shooting Bumblebee at first when Bumblebee first get on Earth. And anything else is kind of like.
All right, guys. Last topic. Actually, what I know everybody's been mentioning a lot about Eddie Van Halen dying yesterday. Our last topic, we'll go ahead and talk about the one I put on there about that. But let's do this one also, and then we'll just kind of discuss the one and just talk about it at the end. So which Rambo movie is the best and why? Very open-ended question, but that's kind of how this one was designed. I think I put this one on there because I think it's all subjective, but hey, 3 minutes is on the board. Who would like to start this one?
I'll go first.
Okay, Anza, 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Okay, for me, and I like this question. The best Rambo movie is the first one, the First Blood. I love that movie because that was a movie that is different from all the rest, except for maybe the last one, kind of. But it's always about him going to another country, fighting a war, trying to save somebody. He's a one-man army in those movies, which is on the lines of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Commando and stuff like that, The original First Blood is a deeper story with a war veteran coming back from the war where he's trying to integrate into society, gets into this redneck country, right? He's not bothering nobody, but the cops are just messing with him, right? Telling him he doesn't belong there, this and that. And it's kind of like,
Watch it.
Yeah. Because it's the cops. Yeah, but the cops the cops were messing with him, right? And I was gonna say it's kind of like being black. You know what I mean? It's kind of that kind of way in the movie, right? So,
oh my God,
it's true. Then they take him out of town, and then he tries to walk back in town, and all he's really trying to do is go visit his friend. Then he gets arrested, you know what I mean? And they're basically doing all kinds of shit to him in the jail where he can't take it anymore. He snaps. He's a war veteran. You can tell he has PTSD. PTSD, that's it, right? So you can tell he's going through some stuff. So that's one personally why I like the movie. And then the action scene where he's in the forest and his general comes in and he's like, you don't have enough men to take down Rambo, and he's just showing how superior he is. And even the cop, what's his real name? The guy who played the cop?
Is it Dempsey?
Jack Dempsey.
Yeah, Jack Dempsey, I think. Yeah,
he's that's the one who played the cop that was chasing him, right?
The head, the chief. Yeah,
did an amazing job. I mean, when you can watch a movie and you fucking hate somebody, because I hated that guy in that movie, it showed me he did a good job in that movie. So I like the last Rambo, the one before that too. But when it got into the where he's
Brian Denny. Good Lord.
Brian Denny, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew there was something wrong with the name. Yeah, and the last two Rambos I liked, but when it was the second, third, where he was going to countries and doing the commando things, they were okay if you like those kind of movies. But to me, they were more generic than anything. The last two, well, it's the last one, he was back home, he was defending his property, and then in the one before that, you could tell he was a washed out dude, and you know what I mean. He was just trying to survive, and he got caught up into a war that he didn't want to get caught up. Plus, he also had help in that one as well. So I like that movie, but the first one for me is the best.
Okay. All right. Very good. Danny, 3 minutes is on the board. If I can get to it, there it is. All right. Your time starts now.
I like First Blood, but I also like First Blood 2 because that's where we really see his skill set. He's in a foreign country trying to do something for his country, and his country betrays him. His parachute malfunctions, and then he's able to cut himself free and get it open. Then he's in a hostile environment trying to find POWs, which he locates, but he gets captured. This Russian who think he's superior and can break him, can't break Rambo. And he knew that his guys, that if he could get away, that he could get to his guys, which he's able to get away and have a POW because, of course, he damaged his camera, which he's supposed to only take pictures. So he gets to the place, to the LZ, and lo and behold, they don't pick him up because he actually has a POW, something he was not supposed to find. So he has to fight his way through all that mess. I think his contact got killed, someone he's going to bring to America. She got killed. And now he's just showing us he's hiding in the mud. He's getting his bow and arrow. And he's killing people with these warheads on the tip of the bow and arrow. He's just doing all kind of crazy stuff. He's hiding in trees. He's hiding in water. He is supreme killer mode, the perfect weapon. So that what really impressed me, especially when he was hiding in that mud, kind of in plain sight. and just doing Rambo stuff. Then he gets back to the base after he kills the Russian in a helicopter, because of course Rando is a trained combat helicopter pilot. Gets back, and then he just grabs his 50 cal, which is incredible because that's a heavy ass gun. But he grabs with one arm, wraps the band around his other hand, and just goes in and totally destroy. I know hundreds and hundreds, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of computer equipment and stuff, and makes the head guy, I think his name was Decker, if I am mistaken, almost shoot himself up. And he tell him that he better find those those POWs, because if he doesn't, then he's going to come back and find them. So Rambo, I like what he stood for. I like the fact that he was able to focus his aggression and get the mission done. All the Rambos, maybe with the exception of Rambo 3, that one's kind of meh to me. But Rambo 1, 2, and the last one were fantastic. I don't have any issues with them, but I think it's between the first one and the second, and I'm leaning more towards the second. Don't have a problem with the first one at all, like Nzo said, but the second one kind of sticks in my head more, and the one that really made me became a Rambo fan.
All right. Man, I really want to say the last one. I really liked it, and it was kind of, I didn't expect them to go where they went with it, but I'm going to say First Blood. My father was a Vietnam vet. That's what John Rambo is. And when I watch that movie, and even the older I get, the more I watch that movie, I kind of see parts of my dad. You were, I mean, Vietnam vets were spit on when they came back home. Mm-hmm. Other vets weren't. They were given, standing ovations when they came back. You see all these videos when parents come back now and they go to their kids' gym, and their kids and everybody are just so happy to see them back. Vietnam veterans, they weren't welcome back like that. And so they I'm not saying they have it tougher than any other veteran, because that's not true. Because the toughness that when coming back to your home isn't always just the way people treat you. It's also how you feel now, because you do change when you go overseas. There's just nothing you can do about that. But I watched that movie, and the more I watch it, the more I kind of feel like I see my dad in that movie. Not saying all the jumping around and all that, but I'm just saying the person. It was tough for him to come back, and he always dealt with that. I mean, he always felt like people may have looked at him a little different or whatnot. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the cut scene at the end, but if you've ever seen that, actually at the end of, I think the book actually. No, not the book. Maybe it's just the movie. They actually filmed a scene where his superior officer shoots and kills John Rambo, kind of in a suicide type thing, because he just wants to die. He's like, I don't belong here anymore. Nobody cares. No, I just don't fit in.
About Troutman shot him.
Yeah.
Yes. They shot two endings to
an alternate ending. That's the
yeah.
alternate ending. Yeah.
And I think it was Sylvester Stallone really wanted that one in there, and then they didn't put that in, and hence we got all the other movies. I do like the fifth one. I think it's 5, right? No, that's the 6th one.
It's 5.
5? Okay. Well, Rambo was the 4th one then, right? So you have First Blood Part 2.
It was Rambo 3. He went to
Rambo.
Save Troutman. It was the one where he went and saved those crazy people that went over there to Rico people.
But the new one is really good. I just think he's adjusted to it, and I love the way it ends. I don't think they need to make another one. That will never stop Stallone from doing it if he wants to. But I think 1 and 5 are the best. I think 2 is really good too, though. All right, keep talking about it. 3 minutes. So
I find with 1 and 5, it like comes full circle. I wanted him to die at the end of 5, though. I wanted him to sit there on the chair and bleed out and die. That's what I want. I know that wasn't going to happen, but I would have felt more like, he sacrificed himself because he found a love, and a daughter that he loved, and he basically sacrificed himself to get revenge on them. So I would have.
Adam's on Nzo.
Why? I wouldn't have minded him if he died in even First Blood in the first one. I think it would have been a much more powerful ending. The ending was good in First Blood.
I think with 5. I watched 5. I don't know if you guys ever watch any Westerns.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop it, Danny. If you ever watch any Westerns, there's Shane. Shane was a great Western, and the way they end it.
With him on the horse, and you don't know.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
He rides off in the sunset. In the sunset on the horse. He's dead, though. There's no
I don't
doubt
want to see the good guys get killed. That's why.
You don't have to.
That's why I hate it about the Magnificent Seven.
Here's how they could have done this really easily. You hear him rocking on the rocking chair because you could hear it. It had a little squeak because it was on a wooden porch. You hear it. The screen goes black, and you just hear it go slower and slower and stop. You don't have to see him die. Then it's up to you. Did he? Did he not? And you end it, and that's it. And you don't do any more. But they kind of did that. I mean, they don't say he dies. They don't say he lives. But he is finally at peace. And that was the best part about it. He's at peace. He's on his own land. He has found what he always had wanted. So you go from one to that, and it does wrap it up in a nice little bow. You feel good that, hey, this guy got it. But he had a bad thing happen to him. I mean, 5 is really a tragic and traumatic story to him. And I mean, they could have been really over the top and blow up things and go really real action, but they didn't. They really made it a story that you could really go into and go like, wow, I mean,
like in the lines of the first movie, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was more like that. It's like, but 2 is definitely a great one. I don't know if 3 was necessary. 4, I think, fell in the lines of just action. That was an action movie. But 1 and 5 are definitely dramatic more than action.
I agree.
And then 2 has a good fine line between both, I think. So, So I think for all of us, it's 1, 2, and 5. Well, I know, Danny, you didn't like the last one.
Oh yeah, I did like the last one.
Okay, so 1, 2, and 5 are probably the best ones. And I would agree with Danny that it's a toss up between 1 and 2.
I'm leaning towards 5. I mean, you went full beast mode, and that's what I like to see.
And the other thing about 5 too is when that little girl died, I was like, oh shit, because I didn't think she was going to die. Maybe she was just going to get hurt or something.
And that's what I was like,
I mean?
holy crap, they did that. I mean, and the way they did it, he saved her. He did save her, but it was too late.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do this really quick. We're just going to talk about this, and we won't set a time. We'll talk about it for maybe about 5 minutes or so. Shifty's right. 4 was gore porn. It was all right. Eddie Van Halen died yesterday. While one of the greatest guitarists, there are many other great guitarists. Name one guitarist that you believe should be on this list and why. Go ahead, Nzo. I'll let you start.
I'm out of this one.
Okay, all right. Danny, tell me yours.
Can I name 2?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
He got his book out.
I do my favorite last. When I saw the movie Crossroads, I don't know if you see it, starred Ralph Macchio. And the guy sold his soul to the devil, and then at the end he had to battle the devil's champion. I think it was Jack Butler, played by Steve Vai. Ralph Macchio was a guitar player. To me, that is one of the best guitar battles I've ever seen. And I saw that in like 1986. I was still in high school. And I can remember it now, almost 30 years later. Steve Vai played both parts. I watched on YouTube. He played in a live concert. It is awesome. To me, that made me fall in love with the guitar solos and watching people play, because that is such a hard instrument to learn. I took lessons earlier, but just did not have the finger dexterity to be good. So I said, fuck it. But I love watching it. Steve Vai is one of my favorite. He is awesome to be able to play that hard rock and roll, and he can play the classical part and do it just so flawlessly. He is one of my favorite. But my all-time favorite is Mr. Brian Setzer, former guitarist for the Stray Cats. He plays a rockabilly, and the rockabilly guitar is a sound is very distinct. You can tell a rockabilly guitarist. And my favorite song he plays is called "Sleepwalk," and man, it is. If you listen to it, you don't, because he has all the tricks and he has the dexterity. He does all of the melodies, and then he plays with the volume and the different pitch controls on the guitar. To me, he is awesome. He is my favorite guitarist. Everything that he plays, I try to soak it up. And I hate when the Stray Cats broke up, because it kind of, for a while, he was kind of in between gigs, and then he did the Brian Setzer Orchestra, and now he's kind of doing his own thing solo. But
well,
he
that
is
was
awesome.
Brian Setzer. Brian Setzer was the Stray Cats. He was the one that created them, and the reason why they broke up was because he wanted to kind of explore and go his own way, and he had a name by that time. But yeah, no, Brian Setzer's awesome. Well,
one honorable mention is Roy Clark.
Yep,
Roy Clark is a beast. That's what I would say. If you don't think so, just go to YouTube, punch in Roy Clark, and
Steve there has some good guys on there. Mark Knopfler, BB King, Chuck Berry, and Slash. Yes, all great. But I said this yesterday when we were talking. Prince.
Yes, Prince is awesome.
And you said you saw a video of Eric Clapton saying that line, because all I've ever heard is that it was in passing. People have said that. Find it and then send it to me, because I want to see that, because I've heard this story that Eric Clapton was stopped like backstage or after a concert, and he was asked, "What is it like to be the world's greatest guitarist?" And he says, "I don't know. Ask Prince." And you will never hear Prince's full capabilities on any of his released music, or any of his mass released pop hits. You just won't. You'll hear glimpses of it. Go look up or go try to get some of his not that well known records or albums that he has. He is an absolute beast. And when you watch him, it's not even like he's trying. He is, I mean, and it's all there. I mean, he's such a crazy, absolutely great guitarist. Carlos Santana, another good one. Joe Satriani.
Let me ask this. No love for Jimi Hendrix?
No, Hendrix is great too. Oh, listen, Hendrix did.
I don't like Jimi Hendrix. I'll say it.
Okay, well, you know what? Hendrix was great. And the fact that he did it on a right-handed guitar flipped upside down and restrung it. I mean, this tells you the guy didn't have the money for a left-hand guitar, which is how he played. And he said, screw it, I'm going to figure this out anyways. Hendrix is great too. I'm
not saying he wasn't good. No. I don't care for. I don't like the WAP. What do you call it?
Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's another good one.
Thing that makes it sound so loud. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just think distortion. You mean?
Yeah, I don't like distortion.
Well, John Lennon was the first person to find distortion, and it was on accident. George Harrison is a great guitarist too. There's lots of great guitarists out there. I would never make a list of my top favorites because there's just too many. But Prince was like a melting pot of all of them, and it was just amazing. I mean, he had a way like no other. Yeah. Eddie Van Halen dead at 65. It's just crazy because of how much I remember growing up with Van Halen. Van Halen was like my first foray into heavy metal, as it was called back then. And well, guys, another great episode. I appreciate the great conversation you guys bring every week. So go ahead and let's talk this out, and let's talk about ourselves one more time. We'll start with Danny this time. Danny, tell everybody about yourself, where you can be found, and all of that good stuff.
I am Danny Graham, aka Comic Chat. Here in the YouTube world, you can find me Monday nights and Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Chaotic Conversation, my show, and the Chaos List, which is Nzo's show, where we have all types of topics, all type of discussions. Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For the foreseeable future, you can find me here on Chris's show, The Rule of Three. This Saturday, I think around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be on Square One, which is a sports show where myself, Nzo, Mendizel, and usually a special guest, we discuss sports, NFL, and NBA, which should be, I hopefully will be over tomorrow night. I hope the Lakers go ahead and knock that out and start playing around. Mm-hmm. And then we usually see us on Sundays, but now because NFL is back in full swing on Equilibrium, where it's me, Terrence, Nzo, and John, but we got to figure out a day. I'm thinking it's going to be maybe Friday. I'm not certain yet, but we shall see. And 4 nights out of the week, you can see me and Nzo on Storms Live. So that's a lot of stuff. I know you're saying, good Lord, they're everywhere. But watch one show, support us, please subscribe, share the link, tell your friends, because we all are trying to get to a certain goal of subscribers, and we can only do that with your help. Also, make sure you hit notification bell because you don't want you to miss any material that any of us upload. Leave a comment and give us a thumbs up. So saying all that, again, everybody in the chat, we appreciate the support. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes. Very good. Nzo, tell everybody about yourself.
Yes, you guys know where to find me, Biggaford Entertainment. And I will say that I hope that somebody, anybody, or maybe the whole team come down with some sort of sickness so that we do not have to play this final NBA basketball game. I do not want to see it. I am sorry.
Go Lakers.
Just cancel the rest of the season. I'll be happy with that.
All right. You know what? Hold on. I have to do this. I just have to say this really quick.
Phantom's on.
I got away with it last night getting Phantom Zone. I can't believe it. So I had to do it to him because I want the Lakers to win this one. Sorry.
It's whack, man. It's garbage. But anyways, Biggaford Entertainment, like Danny said, we got all these shows that we're trying to do to entertain you guys. So if you can, check us out, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 200 subscribers. I'm at 189, 187, something like that. So yes. Hopefully I can get to 200 real quick and then move on to my next goal. I do appreciate everyone that stands there and sits and watches us and all that stuff. So much appreciated.
Indeed.
Make a comment, Chris, to the David Quinnis. I've seen Elvis play the guitar, but I didn't know he was well known as a guitarist. I mean,
I don't think he ever went out of his way to be great, but I think he was a guitarist, and he was a guitarist most of his life. So I would assume he's probably pretty good. I just don't know. I've never really known.
I've never seen him had solos or anything like that. I've never.
I don't know though, but I am a fan of Elvis. Yeah. So guys, Real Review 3000, where you might be watching this right now. Chaos Central. I put the link in there. You go to youtube.chaoscentral.com. It'll take you directly to our YouTube channel for Chaos Central. Sub there, trying to get that up to 100 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 5,000 by the first of the year. But guys, lots of shows to watch. But like I always say, there are many days, many hours in the week, and you don't have to watch them all at one time. There's 3 of these shows on Chaos Central. Danny and Nzo do, I think, 3 others. You're waiting on Equilibrium right now. There's lots of other things we do. We got lots of different stuff for you guys, all entertainment based. But there's lots of time that you guys can go back and watch them. So pick and choose when you can. Please check it out. Please sub to everybody that's here. Sub to those people we work with too. Robert Storms, JJ's comes on here. LUG Pixels, Steve Kenobi is here occasionally. Everybody, guys, we work with a great bunch of people. So thank you very much, everybody, for showing up today. With that said, guys, I am Chris Knight. This has been Chaos Central's The Rule of 3. And let's just say bye, guys.
Peace. Bye.